To repair an ELPLP95 lamp that has a loose bulb, follow these steps. Get a Phillips head screwdriver. PH1 here works well. There are 4 screws that hold the rear of the lamp assembly in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those need to come out first. Pay careful attention to the direction of the handle. The part with the extra bends should be on the same side as the connector. That handle is going to come loose once you take the screws out. You could even just kind of pull a little bit and then the handle can pop out. So we'll take those screws out. Now this should only be necessary if your bulb is loose. Occasionally in shipping, the tabs on the side will allow the bulb to slip past them. There we are. So just lift straight up. Take that other screw out. Make sure the metal stays in place and doesn't slide out of the rear of the housing. Then we are looking at the actual section that holds the lamp. If the bulb is not behind that tab, and that tab, it probably won't be behind that tab either. Take the connector, just kind of turn it, it'll come loose. Then on the side you'll see a tab that can be pushed in. There's another tab here that can be pushed in. Same thing there, that tab. These are the parts that hold the bulb down into place. So these need to come out before the bulb can be reseated. Once those tabs are started, it should just kind of pull straight up like that, and then you'll end up with sort of a C-shaped metal piece. This is how it should be oriented with the housing. The large plate should be towards where the connector is seated. This piece should be that way. Take your bulb, make sure nothing's damaged, make sure the wire didn't break off the front, make sure the metal in the front is still pushed down properly. Then we're going to take the bulb with the screw terminals still in the same position. We're going to set that in first. Leave the connector pointing up, that'll make this part easier. Go around and maybe push on the little tabs just a little bit, just so they're sticking out. You want the tabs sticking out. That'll help them lock back into the plastic better. So as long as they're sticking out just kind of past the surface there, that should be plenty. Then we're going to set it back down again with the larger plate towards where the connector goes. I'll lift it up so you can see it has to, this piece has to drop into that slot. You hear the spring click in, push down, you can hear that second one. Same thing with that, just push down until these latch. Just keep an eye on the opening there and you'll see those little clips drop in and you'll feel it. It should be pretty tight. Grab the back. It's okay to touch the back of the reflector. That's all right. That's not going to hurt anything. So just kind of wiggle it. It should feel very tight. Then take the connector down again. We're going to feed that through the side. And then you'll see there's a large tab and a small tab. The large tab goes into the hole here. So you kind of go in on an angle. Let's see if I can, like this. And then once that large tab starts to go in, you should be able to just kind of roll in the small tab like that. Wires need to go through that split on the side. We'll set that back down and then we'll get the rear of the housing and just slide that back on. The rear of the housing actually is what locks the connector into place. So make sure that slides over the connector. I like to put the screws in diagonally first. So put the one to the bottom of the connector, on the connector side there, and then we'll put the second one diagonal from it. That will help hold the housing straight while we set the wires, because the next thing you need to do is then make sure the wires are on the inside. Just kind of push them in, make sure they're not leaning against the glass. They just need to be inside of that area so that they don't get in the way of your projector. Then put the other two screws in. When you put the screws in, just bring them down till they get snug. These are plastic threads, they'll strip out easy. Just get them tight. Or snug, I guess, is better. Just down till they stop and a tiny bit more. Then the last thing to do is on the one side you'll see a hole. Slide the one side of that handle in. Then on the other side, there's the other hole. It's kind of in the notch of the housing. And then that just pops in. And the way you'll know it's right is when you fold it back, it'll lock. And that's it. That's all you have to do to reseat the bare lamp inside this ELPLP95. So if you have any questions, give us an email, support@PurelandSupply.com, or contact the rep that you talk to. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them on the video as well. Thank you for watching.